My name is Tim Collins, and I'm the superintendent of the Hastings School District. And we come together really as a family. We hear this every year, especially when our retirees make some statements to us about they stayed in Hastings and the time has flown by, but it's really because we are one family. So it's not only recognition for what you do as employees for the school district. The community can't be here to thank you, and that's why the school board does host this event on their behalf to thank you what you do for our children and for the community. Your dedication and commitment is recognized by the school board on behalf of the community. And at this time, I'd like to recognize the school board members who are able to be with us today, and I'll ask them to stand until everybody's introduced. Peter Blissenbach is new to the board. He's been with us for about 4 months, replacing Vince O'Brien. Joe Becker, school board member. Russ Roloff, school board member. The veteran Dan Cater, school board member. And Lisa Hadeen, our school board chair. Again, this event isn't a keynote from the superintendent. I know that you don't want to be here for an hour and a half. It's more to be with your family members and your friends. And so with that, we get rolling and we get to the recognition right away. At this time, I'd like to invite up Julie Malm, EM President, to make her presentation. Julie?
Hi, everyone. Each year, Education Minnesota Hastings has 2 spring awards or recognitions that we do. The first one is called TOY, which is Teacher of the Year. And normally we announce that the week before this recognition at our EM social, and then recognize them again here. This year, our social is next week. So we won't be announcing the winner tonight, but what I'd like to do is tell you a little bit about the award and then read off the list of nominees. The purpose of TOY, the TOY program, is to express appreciation to the many outstanding men and women in the teaching profession whose examples serve as an inspiration to teachers and students. TOY is in no way intended to be honoring the best teacher in Hastings. It's more that we're choosing a representative of the many teachers in our district who daily their influence has a critical effect on the lives of students. We rotate each year between elementary, middle school, and high school, and this year Hastings Middle School is being recognized. We give consideration to the following things: dedication, involvement in professional organizations, involvement in community and district activities, keeping subject matter and pedagogy up to date, open to new experiences, involved in developing new programs and curriculum, and respected by teachers, parents, and students. Our list of nominees is pretty long, and it's pretty exciting. So I'm going to name off their names, and if you're here and I call your name, please stand and then hold applause till we've read the whole list. So these are all middle school teachers. We have Jim Hansen, Lori Hins, Jeremy Reuter, Ellie Lundstrom, Theron Bussey, Becky Hartung, Kim Keneally, Kyle Kreiser, Raya Hoffbauer, Lori Best, Shelley Gagan, Ed Muniak, Matt Bruns, Lynn Munch, Sandra Hisakuni, Marsha Edel, Shannon Stenzel, Cindy Jackal, Cheryl Borgen, Jesse Holm, and Jean Lindbergh. Let's give them a round of applause. The second honor that we bestow is the nickname for that one. We have TOY and we have FO. And FO stands for Friend of Education. Each year we recognize individual and a group or a business who gives unselfishly of their time and energy, demonstrates unusual dedication, leadership, or effective service to the students of Hastings Public Schools. This year, the Friend of Education goes to the Hastings Hootenanny crew. The Hastings Hootenanny is in its 8th year, and for the past 4 years has been raising money for the music programs at the Hastings Middle School and Hastings High School. The Hootenanny is an annual event that has raised several $1,000s. Budding from the genius of the Hootenanny event came the Onion Loft series, which runs over the course of several Sunday afternoons near the end of winter and into spring. The Loft series is an open mic format featuring local talent, young and old. In its time, it has grown from featuring 20 to 30 spectators to over 100. Donations are also collected at this event, and the proceeds again contribute to the music programs at both the middle school and the high school. Joe Pettit and Pat Wagner and their crew supply the sound systems for each of the events, organize the acts, and 80 musicians, handle donations, and so much more. They've brought together a community of musicians for a great cause to promote the arts in and around Hastings and have tirelessly supported area musicians. Here to accept the award for the Hootenanny crew, we have Bert Casperson, Drew Cavalier, Daryl Peepo from the middle school, Matt Bruns, and Ella Pruitt. Please come on up and accept your award. And Nick Fox. I'll give you this. And I believe they have a presentation to make. I'll let you guys take it.
Hello, everybody. Just wanted to say thank you for this award. It's really it's a huge honor to get it. We started this 8 years ago, like she said, and it was just nothing more than some friends having fun. The last 4 years raising money for the Hastings Middle School band and choir programs it's been amazing to be able to give back to the community in this way, because all the people up here started in music programs like this one, and most of us in this city. So it's really neat to be able to raise money and give back to our community and to our schools in this way. So this year's Hastings Hootenanny took place in April. And from that one night event, we were able to raise $6,951. So that's no small feat. And we couldn't have done it without the organization of these people behind me and the community coming out and showing up. So anyone that was either there playing or there supporting the students of Hastings, thank you. And thank you very, very much for this. We'd like to invite Kathy Warren up here to get the check. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just assumed when they came up it was going to be like the Grammys. They were going to be fighting for who was going to speak, and that we were going to have to do a little bell in the background to make sure that Daryl and Bert didn't argue over who was going to speak the most. But again, thank you so much, and wow. I need to get you on some other fundraising committees. That's really impressive. Very, very impressive. I know that the crew that puts this together, and you can imagine how much work it takes to put this together. They're in the back, I believe, eating right now, so I'm not going to make them come out. But if they're all not eating, if you're out here and you're a member that helps put this together, please stand up at this time. It is a lot of work, and it's really, truly appreciated. I know that in your pamphlets, there's a recognition of the 5, 10, and 15-year service awards, and I trust that you'll take time to read those individuals in that list. And at this point in time, we give recognition to the 20-year recipients, and I ask for a couple of school board members to help come up and give out the 20-year recipients, which is the apples that they get from the district. I ask that you hold your applause. I know that some individuals emailed me throughout the week and said that they would not be able to be in attendance. They had other commitments as well, so we still read every name and ask that you come up, receive your award, and be recognized. So alphabetically, Jenny Anderson. Teresa Ashman. Lori Beauvais. Marie Butsy. Amy Childers. Pam Dombeck. Susie Flynn. Anita Fryermuth. Brenda Garvey. Corrine Geiken. Becky Hartung. Dan Kemis. Chris Moss. Donna Mullaney. Maria Paulson. Hey, you're not Maria. I love it working. Gabby Postiglione. Mary Lou Rivard. Christy Schaefer. Chuck Varley. Cindy Worth. Let's have a big round of applause for all of our 20-year recipients. And now our 25-year recipients that will receive a school bell. Colin Anderson. Cindy Benson. Linda Featherstone. Pete McGinnis. Liz Nelson. Peg Rother. Sandy Storley. Another round of applause for our 25-year recipients. And now our 30-year recipients each will receive a brass clock. Franny Bolkan. Heidi DeBruzzi. Judy Tudawal. Frank Yans. I put the peer pressure on him when I was leaving the middle school, and he just was not coming. Steve Yans. Big round of applause for our 30-year recipients. Now for our 35-year recipient, Zena Stephanie. And our 40-year recipient, Paula Angel. Zena and Paula will both tell you it was years in their work study when they're in high school. That's how they got up to 40 years, right, Paula? At this time, I'd like to thank NTEC. NTEC is one of our great organizations that has been helping to sponsor the Employee of the Semester. They've been sponsoring the Teacher of Excellence. In the summertime, they come to the district office, they meet with me, and they select the Teacher of Excellence. We recognized last year's recipient at our fall welcome back, and I'd like Lynn Warren to be recognized in front of you. So Lynn Warren was our Teacher of Excellence. Lynn, please stand. And this summer we'll be selecting then this year's Teacher of Excellence that will be announced in the fall as well. Also, NTEC recognizes the Employees of the Semester, and with that they give every employee a $50 gift card to an establishment in town. And it's from this list of 12 recipients that then we vote on the Employee of the Year, which Rick Zion will come up briefly to shortly to give that recognition. At this time, I would like all 12 recipients for this year to please stand and be recognized if they're here. David Bauer, Cheryl Borgen, Matt Bruns, Carrie Cotton, Marcia Crandall, Leanne Gardner, Sherry Matson, Jim McCarthy, Sandy Mull, Beth Schaffner, Rick Wheeler, and Laura Zabel. Let's have a huge round of applause for our employees of the semester. But definitely for board members and myself, it's just a wonderful thing that NTEC does, because we get to hear the great statements about the passion, the dedication, and commitment of these 12 employees and the impact that they have on the lives of students and colleagues. It's just very rewarding to hear those comments from their colleagues. And at this time, I'd like Rick to come forward and give recognition to our selection of Employee of the Year. Rick?
Thank you, Tim. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure and an honor for myself and NTEC Plastics to support Hastings Public Schools, the staff, and the students. This year's recipient for Employee of the Year has been a member of the Hastings Middle School for 28 years and has never lost his enthusiasm for the students at the middle school. He is always willing to put himself out there, whether it's wearing funny costumes or going all out at the tug of war. He is the ultimate team player and professional. He is always aware of how his role can impact students of the present and in the future. As he nears his career, the end of his career, he has the same zest today as he did when he started, which is a sign of a true professional. Please join me in congratulating the 2017 Hastings Public Schools Employee of the Year, Rick Wheeler. Come on, Rick.
Boy, that was I was suspenseful. I was on the edge of my seat, wondering who are they talking about there. So, I just want this. I'm really short, but I can't begin to thank everybody. I did think that for the last 42 years in public ed, I've always tried to inspire others, and then I realized that's not really what's happened. I've been inspired by everybody in this room, all my colleagues, and I'm really proud to receive this award, primarily because I'm going to be on the wall in the boardroom, and next to some of my dearest friends, and I'll come back sometime to see myself next to the likes of Charlie Black and so on. So thank you very much.
For those of you who are in attendance and don't know that Rick is retiring, the Employee of the Year reserved parking lot won't do him a lot of good. But you know, when I gave my welcome back speech this year, it was to have fun. And I can't think of an individual that I know that exemplifies that speech more of every day having fun. I remember when I first came to Hastings and I saw this guy in yellow tennis shoes, a suit, yellow tie. I'm like, who is this guy? And it's Rick Wheeler, and he likes to have fun. So, so fitting that that was the welcome back speech and that he got recognized from all of you, all of our staff as Employee of the Year. At this time, we do have our retirees come up. They don't have to say anything. They can share something if they so choose. They can introduce some of their family members that have been very important to them in their lives if they so choose, but we leave that up to them. I know that the very first individual regrets that she could not be here with us today, but she's at a very important event in Philadelphia as her son is graduating from law school. So Linda could not be here today, but I think we all recognize the reason why. Let's give her a round of applause. Each recipient receives a Hastings blanket, and we hope that over the years they continue to snuggle and warm up in that, and it brings back very warm memories of all of us. So at this time, Franny Bolkin. Congratulations.
Am I shorter than Rick? I didn't plan on saying anything, so this will be really short, but I just want to let you know that 30 years went by pretty quick. And the only reason I was able to last that long was because every year is a different year, and it's new and it's exciting. You get to meet different people, and it's really all of you guys that made it great and made it worth staying here. So I hope that this isn't goodbye. It's just see you guys later. And yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce my family because a lot of you guys, you've had them. If Seth and Sam, if you remember them, are twins. They're there. Lindsay, our daughter, and then Zach wasn't able to make it. But I think a lot of you guys will remember them. Mr. Wheeler will.
Doug Keyport.
Thank you. I wasn't going to write a speech either. And then I got prompted, you're not going to get out of there that easy. So I did. Teachers are never at a loss for words, but Franny is right that school is different every year. It's a beginning and an ending every year, and we're one of the few professions that get to do that. People go to work for careers and they just keep going, but we begin and end every year, and that's refreshing. I'd like to thank everyone for the amazing show of support. My family that's here, they've come from Sioux Falls, Duluth, the Twin Cities, even as far as San Antonio, and they're still not here, so they're on their way. I'm honored for your presence. I actually worried that no one would be able to come because everybody's busy, and I'm delighted that you're here. I was wrong, and you're amazing. I'm really grateful for the public school teaching career here, and I'm really proud of the work I've done and all the thousands of lives I've touched. I leave with my sights to the other side of the world, across the Atlantic. I've always worked hard as I could, and I learned the values of that hard work from my family, especially my dad, Bob. And Mom, you always said you'd get your reward in heaven. I'm still waiting. I've been blessed with lots of second chances as well, more than once with my health and a late career shift towards union work and then back to the students again. Second chances are what middle school is really all about. It's what we do with kids, and it's how to live life. Take a chance and take the risk. That's what I say. I've collected a lot of rocks, if you know me, along the way, and my rocks are too many in many cases, but they're memory stones of some of my best and most exciting travels, and I'm leaving a lot of them behind, but some are very special, and if somebody says, well, what's so special about that rock? Don't tell them. I don't. Nobody is supposed to know what's special about another person's rock. That's a quote. I bookend my teaching career with an adventure that I'll explain in a moment, but just as I started it, I began teaching in New Mexico in a place as different as could be from here. I taught in a Mormon and Navajo community public school in the high desert. And I'm going to end my career off to a new adventure in a place as different as could be in Casablanca, Morocco. I'd also had a ponytail back then, although I didn't grow it until I reached my first continuing contract. So I grew it out one more time just to sort of bookend and see what it feels like. I imagine it won't last. I know some of you are waiting for that day with your scissors as well. I'm excited to share my next finds with you for those that keep in touch. The constants in teaching were the kids and my passion for science. I tried every day to find inspiration and the magic juice to hook kids to take an interest in things like the weather in the troposphere or the beauty of Minnesota, its waters, its rocks, trees, and mushrooms. I tried really hard to connect to kids, to teach them to love and care for the earth, and to have a sense of place, a home. For me, that was really special. I wanted to teach them what home is special about. Let's go find out what's special. Some days were hard, some frustrating, but I returned every day ready to light a fire in the hearts and minds of kids with my interest, but just as energized by the kids, as Rick said, by what they bring. And there's always a small dose of humor. It's what keeps all of us going. Like these. What do you call a dinosaur with an extensive vocabulary? A thesaurus. Or why can't you hear a pterodactyl using the bathroom? The P is silent. So thanks again, everyone, especially for my family and my kids, for putting up with me and for letting me stretch my wings. I hope I've left a legacy with all of you and with you, even a small one. Did you see the best Marigold Hotel movie? I love this line from the movie. It says, "Things will work out in the end. If they don't, it's not the end." Farewell. The Atlas Mountains are calling, and and I have much work to do. Thank you.
Doug, you had me thinking, what section in the contract would we put no ponytail? I don't even know what section that would be under, but we have one more negotiations yet with you, Doug, so it might be in there to think about. Next up, Scott Papp.
Well, I didn't write anything down, but I do have some things I want to say. And it all starts with one word, and that's blessed. I've been blessed by a wonderful family, my wife Diane, my son and daughter Jen and Matthew, his wonderful wife Beth, and 3 great grandchildren, Naomi, Carter, and just as of March 30th, Nora. So I've been blessed that way. I was blessed by having an education here in this district. As it said in my bio, I started in 6th grade here when Pinecrest was the new school. That tells you how long I've been around. And I really, really was inspired by many of the teachers I had as I went through this school district. Among them, Terry Hartman and Cliff Jacobson. They were just excellent, excellent teachers. It was really a lot of fun. And I've been blessed by so many good coworkers. I think back to the beginning, Karen Holmquist, Jan Waxlin was my mentor teacher. She was right next to me. And back then we didn't have mentor teachers, but she took me under her wing anyway. And she made that first year doable. I don't know if I could have done it without her. She was that good. Most recently, John Cost, Carol Howd, Ann Henning. It's been like paradise on earth working with those people. Before that, Jan Matula, Lois Rogie, Karen Carlson, Vicki Amundsen, a lot of people who have already retired, and I was always jealous of them, but knew I wasn't ready yet. So I've been blessed also with the people I've worked with. But mainly, I've been blessed by the kids. And I know you're not supposed to say kids, you're supposed to say students, but I'm sorry, they're my kids. And so that's what the term I use. From day to day, the things they say, the things they do, the struggles they go through, the things I can help them with, and yes, some of the failures. Because we don't always hit it off with our kids, do we? Not always. But we take those victories and we keep marching on. Just the other day, one of my kiddos made me laugh. We were studying the West region for social studies. And they were all seated on the carpet, and I had a map up of the West region. And we were going through the state capitals. And I just wanted them to just holler out the capital after I said the state, if they knew what it was. And so I said, Washington. And one of my girls goes, Taco Mama. Taco Mama, Tacoma, Taco Mama. Now, she doesn't have the capital right, I get that, but all of us just burst out laughing. Everybody knew what she had done, Taco Mama. And then one day, not too long ago, the kids came in and I had some work on their desk. And one of them comes up to me and says, Mr. Papp, do we have to do that analogy thing that's on our desk? Analogies. Analogy. They come up with the greatest things. But I never felt more proud than when I see my kids succeed in something they've never succeeded in before. And that's what keeps you there. The letters you get from parents that say, thank you for what you've done for my child. The kids that come back to your classroom in the future teacher program from the middle school, which I think is just wonderful, who you've had in the past, just because they want to be in your room and help. Those are the things that are your reward, right there. You know, there's many of us who would do this for free, don't get any ideas, but would do this for free just for those feelings. And I feel like I was one of those that would have done it for free because it was so rewarding, and I feel so blessed. And I hope as time goes on, I continue to feel blessed, whether it's up at the lake or with my grandkids, spending more time with my own children, Or I'm thinking about coming back and subbing. I don't know, we'll see. But I might, as a gradual release from this profession that I've loved so much. It really has been an honor to be a student in this district and to be a teacher. So thank you to all my coworkers, my kids who are out there somewhere, and my family. Thank you.
Cindy Sandkamp.
Oh boy, I'm the top of the seniority list, my goodness. 41 years, never thought I'd be there. The time has flown, and what an amazing career. You know, I often think, what other job would you be greeted with such warmth, smiles from children, be shown such love, and have children enter your classroom with such an eagerness to learn? It has, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, given me utter delight to spend each and every day with these little ones and watch them grow and watch them learn. I think my biggest thrill as a first grade teacher has been just seeing the success from the beginning of the year to the end, especially in reading. It's just like a flower petal that opens up before your eyes, and that has been just a joy for me. I have also learned a lot from the children that I teach. They're such amazing little people, and it has been my pleasure and honor to teach them all of these years. I have truly loved my career, and I will miss it dearly. I will. But it's time to set that stress aside and focus on my new adventures that await me. I'm also very grateful for the principals that I've taught under: Gary Evenson, Earl Anderson, Nancy Teckham, Diane Smith, and last, Kyle Latch. And I thank you, School District 200, for giving me the opportunity to have taught in Hastings. And I thank all the teachers, and a lot of them are out there now, that I have worked with and taught with at Tilden and at Kennedy all these years. I have such great admiration for all of you. And I have learned from you, and you have inspired me so much. Before I end here, I just want to introduce my family. Carrie, my daughter Carrie, was an '02 graduate. She was the first year to graduate from this new high school. And Kelly was an '03, okay, and that's her husband, William. And then my two grandchildren, Cody and little baby Savannah, who was born on Christmas Day. And when you ask Cody to say hi to his sister, he gets down on his knees and he scrunches down and he goes, "Hi, baby banana." So anyway, that's my wonderful family, and that's and all of you know my husband Greg, who teaches at the high school, and I am very thankful for the support and the love he has given me. Thank you, Greg. And last of all, I want to thank God for blessing me with this wonderful, wonderful job of teaching children. He has been my strength and my guide. So, thank you.
Lynn Warren.
To work and teach in only one school district for 33 years is an amazing thing. I've seen this community and school grow and develop into what I think is the best district and the best city in the state of Minnesota. Kathy and I were so fortunate to raise our family here and have both of our boys experience the great teachers in this district that prepared them for college and ultimately their careers. I've also been blessed to work and live in a community that appreciates the arts and realizes how the arts can change lives. Thanks goes to the administration that allowed me to build a program that helps students realize their musical potential. It's so rewarding to see many of my former students singing in college ensembles, singing professionally, singing in bands in the area, or teaching music and ultimately changing more kids' lives. I will really miss working and teaching these incredible kids. They are so eager to learn and so fun to be around, and they've kept me relatively young, definitely in spirit anyway. Also, I will really miss my friends and colleagues. As many of you know, I'm a bit of an extrovert, and I get my energy from others. Now I'll have to find a new source of energy since Kathy will definitely get tired of me babbling to her when she gets home from school each day. While I'm talking about Kathy, she deserves a big thank you because she allowed me to build this program, which required hours and hours of time away from home, often at the expense of our family. Now she gets my full attention, which could prove to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to a more relaxed schedule, which will give me some much-needed breathing time. It'll be fun to watch this program from afar, continue to grow and develop under my son Luke's leadership. I know that you will support him as you've supported me all of these years. Thanks to everyone. I'll miss you all.
Rick Wheeler.
This is a good day to use this cover up out there. As I came over here, I left the middle school just minutes before this program started, and I bumped into Dan Kimmis. And I'm gussied up, and Dan's sweating from working his tail off, and he said to me, "You know, this is the longest place I've ever worked." And then I thought, as I left, this is the longest place I've ever worked, 28 years. And people reference how fast it goes. I had a lot of reactions to when I told people I'm retiring. I love the ones from the kids that go, "No, I'm only in 7th grade, you can't retire yet," you know, that kind of stuff. To like, it's about time. Jake Moore retired 12 years ago. 12 years ago. And ever since he retired, I started getting, "Wheeler, when are you going? When are you going?" I probably one of my, I like the one that says, "Wheeler, you can't retire, you're too young." Well, 66, that's too young. So I'm ready, I'm old enough. But my favorite reaction probably was from Mark Zuzek, principal and colleague for 28 years. And Mark just gave me this big, massive, you know, we're kind of different sizes, of course. He gave me this big hug, and he said, "Wheeler, it's been a great ride." And I thought about that, because I'm a wheeler. I love driving. I love bicycles particularly. So I thought, what a metaphor, that ride. And then I thought, you know, I've never really been alone on this journey because my lovely wife, Lisa, over at the table, has been there for 42 years. And my daughters, one of them is here, Paige right there. She kind of stands out with her red hair. I love red hair. But, you know, the other thing about that, so I've never really been alone, but more importantly, I've had the kids, the families and friends and all the colleagues that have really been the kind of the wind behind my back. Because when you're riding, you know, sometimes you go through rough roads, you go up big hills, you know what it is like. You got these challenges, but when you've got that wind behind your back, that really helps. So I'm riding off into the sunset, not on a horse, not with a cowboy hat, but with a bike helmet. And there's a story there. I'm not going into that one, but there's a story. I'm a really advocate of bike helmets. So thank you very much for a great time.
It is the best way to end. They're the testimony for what Hastings is all about. They're the testimony that over time, administrators did a great job of hiring. They hired great people who were committed, dedicated, and they understand the value of friendship, colleagues, and family. And I think their speeches reflect that. I also want to thank each of you who made the choice to come here today. I think we all have very busy lives and we could have chosen to be somewhere else, but everyone out here who's not being recognized, you made a choice to be here and give recognition, and the school board thanks you for that because that continues to show what we are all about. We give gratitude and recognition to those who deserve it. So in closing, I know that you have cupcakes at your table. We don't want them to go to waste. Take them. We have extra food. I hope that you stick around and take some time to bump into each other and share the more good memories that you have between one another. And with that, I think it's just a great way to close with some great speeches. So thank you for coming, and we wish you the very best on behalf of the school board. Thank you.